And a pleasant good evening to you and to yours, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network. And we are getting down to the nitty gritty of it all, aren't we? 1 week to go in the high school football regular season. Good evening, everybody. I'm Alan Slaughterzinski, and welcome to Story Taylor Stadium and Jay Donnelly Field here on the campus of Astronaut High School, where tonight it's senior night, and these seniors are looking to go out with a huge upset here tonight as the Astronaut War Eagles and the Cocoa Tigers get set to do battle. The War Eagles and the Tigers meeting for the 18th time since 2004 here tonight, with the Tigers taking 15 of those meetings, the last three by a combined score of 167 to nothing. But head coach Logan Halleck has reignited this program, and this is a program that's going to continue to grow year in and year out. You have to be impressed with what Logan Halleck has done here. You look at the facilities, you look at the players, you look at the numbers. Everything for the Astronaut War Eagles is trending upward. He's in his third season. Last year, 6-4. This year, 5-3 to this point of the season. Logan Halleck knows what he's doing, and he will continue to take this program and move them towards the top. On the other side of the field tonight, it's a program that has struggled to start the season under eighth-year head coach Ryan Schneider. But last week, against the unbeaten The Villages Buffalo, the Cocoa Tigers laid down an old-fashioned Cocoa Tiger dark side defense whipping on the Buffalo. And we'll see here tonight if that victory possibly reignited the Cocoa Tigers season. Because the Tigers, well, they're 3-4 now. They have an opportunity tonight with a win to win the district championship and make their 23rd consecutive trip to the playoffs. But just making it to the playoffs isn't enough for this program. They've got to be Final Four or better. That's 18 straight years for this program having accomplished that feat. And this year, they may have caught a break. 2A, Region 2, not as strong as it's been in the past. In fact, the Villages Charter, who Cocoa beat 27-6 last week, they were the number one ranked team in that region up until Cocoa handed it to them pretty good last week. And there you see Ryan Schneider's statistics on your screen there. As for the Astronaut War Eagles, they come in, they like to run the football, and they do it well. They do it well behind a physical offensive line that the Cocoa Tigers are going to have to contend with here tonight. They average 184 rushing yards per game. Senior quarterback Brennan Waldrop runs a really good RPO. He can pick that defensive end up pretty good, and he's going to have to be really good at it tonight against a Cocoa Tiger front that last week, Jermaine Waters alone with 9 sacks. Waters became just the third Cocoa Tiger ever with 3 sacks in one game. So we'll see how that pans out. And it's a running back by committee back there for the Astronaut War Eagles. When you look at their rushers, it's Jaden Brown, Quan Hagens, both over 400 yards. Draquan Jones, 318. Waldrop himself with 258. Speaking of rushing attack, the Cocoa Tigers last week, a team that loves to throw the football down the field, they found themselves relying on the pass on the run last week, and Javion Scott, the primary beneficiary of that. The Tigers with 250 rushing yards last week, 202 of them from the sophomore alone on 21 carries. So Astronauts going to have to watch out for that here tonight. So the table is set. The War Eagles and the Tigers are ready to do battle here at the late great Jay Donnelly, the first ever football coach in the history of the Astronaut War Eagles. We'll tell you a little bit more about Coach Donnelly tonight as the War Eagles will receive I'm by myself tonight, so I don't have binoculars or anything like that, so bear with me. As Keelan Gonzalez, I believe, will kick off for Coco. Gonzalez, a touchback machine. The junior has had an outstanding season for Coco. When he kicks, this thing usually ends up in the end zone. Got a breeze behind him or cross tonight, so I don't know. We'll see. And we are underway, caught up in the wind. This ball will be fielded at the 4 by King Rainey. Rainey brings it near side, out across the 20, 25, 30, and he is absolutely blown up at the 32-yard line by Ray McCoy. But Brennan Waldrop and the Astronaut War Eagles will bring them out. 1st and 10 at the 31, 32, 33 make it. As here we go. Nice run back, great tackle by McCoy, great run by Rainey. This is a different look. You're going to get Quan Hagens back there. Hagens starts at quarterback for Astronaut. Now they'll shift. Turns, gives, counter play, upside, big hole. Nice run, good play call on 1st down. Ball carrier is Draquan Jones. That's a gain of 8, 2nd and 2. Great counter, great protection over there by the right side of that Astronaut offensive line. Second down and 2 here. Hagens with a man in motion. Jet sweep, give. He's got a 1st down. And nice run, nice jet. King Rainey on the carry. That's a gain of 5. 1st and 10. And the War Eagles. As Quan Hagens. Looks like it's going to be Quan Hagens. I don't know of anything with Waldrop. I thought he was the quarterback. Could be a switch up. Hagens. Listen, Hagens is dynamic. Little bubble screen there. That'll pick up 3. Hagens this season, 27 of 45. 237 yards, a touchdown. Longest pass of the season, 28 yards. Hagens can run the ball, too. 73 carries, 408 rushing yards. And now 2nd and 8 for the War Eagles, their 1st, 2nd and long of the game. Good opening drive, at least the start here, as the War Eagles have the ball out across the 45 at their own 47. They are, I'm telling you, man, they got the playbook out tonight. Everybody's looking down at the wristbands. There's another, a fake jet. Hagens keeps it straight up the middle. Great pull by Hagens. Quan Hagens into Coco territory all the way down to the 35-yard line. Faked the jet to Jaden Brown, kept it. Hagens with an outstanding run of 20 yards and right back to the line of scrimmage come the Astronaut War Eagles. This is exactly what the War Eagles needed to do if they were going to win this football game tonight. They need 8, 10-play drives, run the ball, chew time off of that clock. Hagens again from the pistol or the RPO. Inside, another big run and a shoulder drop at the end. Jaden Brown thumping in the Tiger secondary. Gain of 16 and another Astronaut 1st down. District rivalry. Not as much as it used to be really a big district rivalry back in the day. You go back to Logan's, I believe, uncle, Randy Halleck. And Randy Halleck, man, he used to live to play the Coco Tigers. First and 10 at the 25. Hagen's going to throw for the first time tonight. No, he's not. Tigers sniff that out. Oh, he gets away. Look at Hagen's breaking tackles. There's a flag that comes in. That's going to be on the Tigers. Mr. Corsi is the white hat tonight. We're going to see. They're talking. This crew does a lot of talking. They like to talk things over. Corsi, of course, is the head of football officials for the MCOA. Which way are they going here? What's the call? Holding against Astronaut. So that's a spot foul. So it's going to be a first and 10 again. So it's essentially a redo because it occurred down at the 14-yard line. So the ball's now at the 24. But the bigger story here on the opening drive is this Astronaut War Eagle rushing attack. They started on their own 34 and now have first and 10 at the Cocoa 24. Hagen's going to try it again. Going to get away again. Same play inside. Hagen spins, turns, close to, actually has another Astronaut War Eagle first down deep inside Cocoa territory. And he's inside the tails at the Barkery red zone. For sure. Deep inside the tails at the Barkery red zone. What a drive by Astronaut to start this game. It puts pressure on Cocoa. They came back out from that penalty and ran the same exact play, and the same result occurred. It's a flip jet. And nowhere to go this time. Read nicely by Coco's defense as Kyrie Brooks comes in and makes the stop. Brooks this season, he's got 2 sacks. I believe he is the Tigers. He is. That's his 61st stop of the year. He is the Tigers' leading tackler. Well, that young man just slipped and fell. There's one to remember. That right side of that offensive line doing a job, 77 and 61. That's Adrian Dotson and Elijah Cardwell. Big young men over there getting it done. Second and 14 following the loss. Hagen's inside, cuts back, and another flag flies. This is usually in the area of a hold again. I hate to see them go into a hold fest tonight. I really would. I've done quite a few games in which this crew has done, and you see, yeah, you're going to see the hold here. You get a lot of holds, and this near side official over here on this crew is tight down the sidelines on passing routes for pass interference. Yeah, it's going to go against Astronauts, so they're going to back them up here. And the War Eagles got to be careful here. They got a kicker. But you have to come out of this drive with points. You just do. So it's now at 2nd and 24 in the War Eagles. And, yeah, I think this is a good timeout by Logan Halleck here as Halleck takes a timeout. Settle these guys down a little bit. Let them catch their breath, get back to what they were doing to start this drive. And maybe, look, he came out with formation that was, I mean, he had 2 wide receivers split on the inside. He had a guy on the out. I mean, it was a wild-looking formation. And so maybe they settle down a little bit, get back to that. But they've got 24 yards to pick up here. They can still get a first down without scoring a touchdown. But however you slice this pie, they've got to come away with some points here. That would just be huge for their confidence alone. So 2nd and 23 officially as Quan Hagens brings them back. 3 wide receivers to the right. one near side here. Cameron Roberts on the inside, I believe. Roberts. Hagens. Just a straight quarterback run up the middle. And Hagens picks up 10. And that'll be second, third, and 14. So they're at least in field goal territory right now. They weren't on that last play. They are now. The Tigers, for 2 years running now, have just been vulnerable through the middle of that defense. Jermaine Wells inside there. The number 44 playing on top of the center. Third down, and they're going to fake the jet. Hagens won't pick up the first down, but he stays kind of in the middle of the hash marks there. Yeah, you take these points. Absolutely take these points. And the Astronaut War Eagles, Connor Lamoth will come on for a field goal. Lamoth's a good kicker, 3 out of 4 this year. He does have a crosswind to deal with, I'll tell you that right now. Left-footed kicker. Snap is high. The kick is up. And does he get it? I believe he drilled it through. Yes, he does. And the Astronaut War Eagles and Connor Lamoth pick up 3 points on their opening drive. And so there's a little confidence booster for them. We'll be back with the kickoff. Astronaut leads it 3-0. Welcome back here to J. Donnelly Field, Storyteller Stadium. Alan Slaughterzinski with you here. Next to the final week of the regular season, of course, Brevard County's got 2 makeup games, and the Tigers are very much involved in one of those scenarios on November 3rd, a scheduled makeup against Apopka. They win here tonight. I don't know that they play it, but you'll definitely see the makeup game on November 4th. That has to be played. O'Galley at Merritt Island. That'll decide 3A2 district championship as Lamoth gets set to kick off. The War Eagles with an outstanding opening drive, and they come, a little chip shot. That is dragged down there. That's Cayman Veris wearing number 4. I'm pretty sure of it. So that's where the Cocoa Tigers are going to start. I wouldn't have done that. I certainly wouldn't have given the Tigers a short field unless, if you're going to do something like that, I think you need to put that ball on the ground on some sort of a bounce kick, make some contact. But you've given Cocoa possession at the 37-yard line here. You just spent nearly 8 minutes on a drive trying to keep the ball out of their hands. The last thing that you want to do is put them beyond the 35, and that's exactly what the War Eagles have done as Champ Smith, who's had a tough year, but a good week last week, takes over 1st and 10. He's going to fake to Scott. He's going to look to throw it deep on play 1, and he has got a receiver, and that's a terrible call. I told you right from the get-go that they were going to throw flags on deep balls, as Champ has struggled with the deep ball this year, and you just know Cocoa is, that's just a bad call. But I warned you before the game that we were going to see this from the side officials tonight. I told you that. So that's a 15-yard penalty in high school. I thought you watch the coverage. It was double coverage. But the play call is what is wild to me. You tell the young man, listen, you struggle throwing this thing down the field. Play one. What do the Tigers do? That's Cocoa Tiger football. That's how they attack these issues. They hit them head on. Smith now with Scott in motion, and they'll get back to handing off to Javian Scott. Scott tries to cut through. He does. Javian Scott finds a hole, and there's 15 yards for the sophomore with 202 of them last week on first down, and the War Eagles better figure out how to stop him. First and 10 for the Tigers. Right back to the line of scrimmage. Smith brings them. Pitch out again. This is Scott. Bobbles the pitch and absolutely gets crushed by Brennan Waldrop. And that is a loss of 2. And that'll bring up 2nd and 12. Smith bobbled the ball. And as a result, it allowed Waldrop. We got a flag down again. It's the 3rd holding call of the game. Here we go. They're going to back them up 10 yards. So it'll be 1st and 20 for the Tigers once this holding call gets done. They didn't throw the ball, so it ain't pass interference. All right, here we go. 1st and 20 now. The ball back at the Astronaut 44. Smith brings them right back to the line of scrimmage, doubles. That means 2 wide receivers split equally to each side. Smith wants it, looks over. Adam Franco, Ray Kamiko over there in the yellow and the blue. They'll be the ones giving the signals. Smith gets it this time, looks, steps up, fires across the middle. Perfect pitch and catch, still on the run, and this could be and will be a Cocoa Tiger touchdown. Zay Hawkins with a great catch and a great run after the catch. Nice pass by Champ Smith, and the Tigers waste no time at all getting on the board as it's 6-3. Nice play there. Smith, all the time in the world in the pocket, and he found Zay Hawkins cutting across the middle, threw a dart to Zay, and Zay did the rest. 44-yard touchdown by the Tigers, and Keelan Gonzalez comes on for the extra point. The snap, the hold, the kick, and he boots that one over to Titusville High School. And with 3:40 to go in the opening quarter, the Tigers storm right back and now lead it 7-3. Welcome back to Jay Donnelly Field, and that's what this game's going to be tonight. It's going to be about Astronaut chewing up possession and Cocoa trying to strike quick. As a 44-yard touchdown pass from Champ Smith to Zay Hawkins. And the Tigers, with 3:40 to go in the opening quarter, now lead it 7-3 on your Gamers R Us scoreboard at the top of the screen. I want to say hello to Charles Bell, whose Lakeland Dreadnoughts picked up a Thursday night win last night. Deep kick, this one fielded by King Rainey again. Rainey trying to get the ball out at least to the 20. That will not happen, as good coverage there by Zay Chappell. And the Tigers defense, dark side defense, will come back on. And here comes the Astronaut offense under the guidance of junior Quan Hagens. Logan Halleck calls the offense. Ben Waldrop, the defense. Ben Waldrop, the defensive coordinator for Astronaut, also does a lot of work with the Florida Coaches Coalition. Hagen's, we're looking at no backs in the backfield, and this is a jet sweep that the Tigers. That's the problem. These jet sweeps are great in theory, but when you're playing a team like Cocoa, who can run just as fast, if not faster than you east and west, they never work. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Red Band Thompson in the middle there, along with Tremaine Wells. This time there'll be a back in the backfield, and I believe that is going to be Jaden Brown back there. Hagens rolls right. He's going down. And the Cocoa Tigers dark side defense. That's guess who? I believe that's who was that? It's number 12. I thought it was 11. That's Kyrie Brooks with his 3rd sack of the year. Brooks gets in there to make his 2nd tackle tonight, 1st sack. And Astronaut is now looking at 3rd and 20. I think Charles with the comment there. I think the thing that benefits the Cocoa Tigers this year more than any other year is that 2A Region 2 is still theirs for the taking. They are. Listen. I've seen Bradford play. Seen Bradford play 3 times this year, not in person, once in person, but I've watched them twice. I've seen the Villages play twice. Saw them play Astronaut. Watched the replay of that, and then saw them live against Cocoa. Cocoa is better than both of those teams, and those are your top 2 teams in the region, and that's going to bring up 4th down at about 17, and Astronaut's going to be forced to punt deep from their own end, and that's exactly what they needed to avoid. I do think the issue the Tigers are going to run into is Cardinal Mooney is one of the best teams in the state of Florida, period, end of story, regardless of classification. I think the FHSAA even has Cardinal Mooney number 1. And the second best team right there with them is Bowles. Bowles has got 4 great players from South Georgia on that team this year. And both those, to me, and this is no disrespect for Cocoa, as that punt goes out beyond the 50 down to the 48. But I think if we're talking truth here, the 2 best teams in 2A are Bowles and Cardinal Mooney. And I think those will end up being the 2 teams that play for the 2A championship this year. But I certainly think Cocoa has that opportunity to be in that Final Four mix. And for that to be practicing on Thanksgiving, to do that for a 19th straight year, I think you'd have to stamp this season a tremendous success based on the injuries that they've dealt with, based on, some of the play that's been turned in. It's been a tough year, but the Tigers have fought their way through it. Champ Smith, 1st and 10, 5 wide receivers set, 3 to the near side, 2 to the top of your screen. Smith drops back, looking to cut it loose again. This time, nice job by Champ to take the underneath the Tank White. And see, that's what I want to see from Champ Smith. He looked downfield, saw that his primary target wasn't open, looked right, wasn't open, came back underneath the Tank White. That's how you win football games. Smith, 2nd and 7. Javion Scott right to his right. Going to be Cayman Varus in the slot near side with Tank White. This time the give is to Scott. Scott cuts back inside. Scott still on his feet. Scott could be gone. Scott is at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Cocoa Tigers. Javion Scott with an outstanding run, and the Tigers take a 13-3 lead. What a cut by Scott at the 40, and he was gone. And he just outrun an entire secondary and then got horse-collared at the end. No flag. Five seconds to go in the first quarter as Keelan Gonzalez looks to add the extra point, and that one he kicks down to Space Coast High School. And with 5 seconds to play in quarter number one, the Tigers tack on the extra point. It's 14-3. All right, welcome back. No, I don't know who's got Vero Beach ranked number one in the state, but when you go to the only rankings that really matter, and those are the Florida High School Athletic Association playoff rankings right now, Cardinal Mooney's there. It clearly says one. So I don't know if it's Max Preps that moved them to number one or somebody else that moved them to number one, but the Florida High School Athletic Association's got Cardinal Mooney at one, FHSAA.com. Click on rankings. Don't do it on the laptop. Do it on your mobile device, because if you do it on the laptop, they don't have the rankings updated on laptops for some reason. It's the weirdest thing. But, yeah, it's definitely Cardinal Mooney's one. There's a little chip kick there that I just don't understand. And flags fly, and everybody's off sides, and Keelan Gonzalez is standing there like, what just happened? What did we just do? I don't think anybody knows what they just did. All right, back them up 5 and try this again. 5 seconds to go in the first quarter. And Astronaut started well, but since Coco's outscored them 14-0 on a 44-yard pass from Champ Smith to Zay Hawkins, and then a huge run by Javion Scott of 49 yards for a touchdown. That one's going to hang up there and fielded by King Rainey. Rainey out across the 20, 25, and the ball's out. And that's the end of the quarter. No, the ball didn't come out. It was just a big hit there. And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. All right. Coco on top. 14-3. We'll be right back here on Brevard Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Lindback with Compass, your East Coast real estate expert. When it comes to selling your home, experience and strategy matter. My team and I make sure every detail is handled, so you get top dollar and a stress-free experience. We bring in professional stagers, high-end photographers, and cinematic videographers to showcase your home at its best. Because every showing starts online, and we make sure your home stands out. With consistent communication, strong negotiation skills, and local market expertise, I guide you every step of the way. Because here in Brevard, when it comes to real estate, Chrissy knows. Ready to buy or sell in Brevard? Visit Chrissy Knows, and let's get started.
Want to thank Chrissy Knows, Chrissy Lindback, as one of our sponsors here, big-time sponsors here on Brevard Sports Network. No, Charles, that doesn't. Titusville and Astronaut do not play in the same district. They'll play next week for the Hudson Trophy. Throws caught. Nice pitch and catch here out across the 50 down to the 47. That's a good job there. First down by Liam Byrne. And there you go, Astronaut. That's what you need to do here. Mix it up a little bit. Nice play by Quan Hagens to get that ball out in a hurry, because you're not going to be able to stand in the pocket against the Tigers. That Hudson Trophy next week. That's a big rivalry here in Brevard County. Titusville Astronaut be played down at Titusville next week. Tonight, the final home game of the year for Astronaut, and if they make the playoffs, they would have to travel. 14-3 on our Gamers R Us scoreboard. I want to thank Tails at the Barkery, our first quarter sponsor. Carrollwood Day 7, Merritt Island nothing. Thank you very much, Charles. Mr. Bell, appreciate that. Merritt Island's problem is they cannot stop the rush. If you can run the ball, Merritt Island's got a great offense, arguably the best in Brevard County, but they just simply cannot stop the run. 1st and 10. Hagens up the middle and still fighting. Two games this year in which the Mustangs have reached the 50-point plateau. They're 1-1 scoring 50-plus points this year. They gave up 420 yards rushing in one. I believe that was to DeLand. And then they gave up 379 in their win to Ed White. So, don't know how Carrollwood Day scored, but Carrollwood Day is one of the top teams in 1A. They actually play in the same region as Melbourne Central Catholic. Hagens with all kinds of time lets it go, and he had a receiver out there, King Rainey, and I tell you what, he sat in the pocket for a good little time on that play and just overthrows his wide receiver. 3rd down and 8 as the playbook has gone from all run to a mix of run and pass. Nehemiah Pinnock steps in. Coming up tonight, about an hour after this one ends, because I live about 40 minutes from here. Well, then I'd say 90 minutes. Will be the post-game show. We'll do a post-game show tonight. And tomorrow, volleyball, regional semifinal volleyball. 3rd down and 8, jet sweep. Nope. Counter inside. Coco sniffed it out quickly. Your ball carrier was Traquan Jones. 4th down, and you're over the 50 here. You got nothing to lose. I don't think you punt this, and they're not going to. Fourth and 10 now. Love the pink ribbon down there on the 50-yard line. Love to see that. Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Whistles, and Astronaut says, let's see what we've got in the playbook for 4th and 10 here coming up. I don't blame them. It's a good timeout. I can't believe the football season has already come to this point. I feel like it was just August, and we were sweating to death setting up all this equipment, and I mean, it's just wild to me that there's only 1 week to go in this season. Regular season, that is. Now, we go, obviously, all the way to December. And I truly believe, and, maybe you think it's fool's gold for me, but I truly believe that between the SSAA and the FHSAA, I believe Brevard will have some teams playing well into November this year. I do. I think Coco's a Final Four team, either Merritt Island, Titusville, or Ashland. They are going to punt this football. That's an interesting decision. Yep, now they're not because that snap was bad, and now they are. Good job by the punter. That's an outstanding job. It's going to bounce in the end zone, but there was really nothing Connor Lamoth could do. The snap was like a changeup, and he thought if he had the room, he would take the sidelines for a first down, but Coco closed that gap quick, and Lamoth boots it. But I think in 3A Region 2, either Titusville, Merritt Island, or O'Galley's a Final Four team as well. I don't think MCC is. Now, Heritage has got to win tonight. I don't see – Heritage plays in a brutal region. They're in the same region with St. Thomas in 5A4, St. Thomas Aquinas. St. Thomas, though, is the number 3 seed in that region. Smith and the Tigers back out, 1st and 10. And here's a jet sweep. And Zay Chappell on the carry. Chappell picks up 2, 2nd and 8. So here comes 2nd and 8 for Smith and company. Scott to his right. Trips inside. One wide receivers. Tank White. Smith looks, fires it out. Out to Cayman Veras. Veras. Nice job by Veras. Veras fights for a first down. I like this young man. Sophomore, 5'9", before his day is done as a Cocoa Tiger. We'll be talking about possibly a 4.29 40 from him. He's fast, trust me. Martin County right now with a 3-0 lead over Heritage. Quick out, and another team that can win a district championship tonight is Rockledge against New Smyrna Beach. Former Cocoa Tiger head coach John Wilkinson, the coach there. And there's another one again. They're just going to keep taking what they're giving them over there. They're going to play off. Smith is picking them apart with that play. 2 of them in a row. That time it's Jaden Mall, 6'3", 185-pound sophomore, picks up the Tiger first down. 1st and 10 Cocoa at their own 45. 8:33 to play in the first half. The Tigers have scored on each of their first 2 drives. This is Tank White. This is Scott. Look at Scott again. Scott flowing through the defense, picks up 8 more yards, and it'll be 2nd and 2. But no score reported there between the Raiders and the Cudas. Titusville on top of Palm Bay 14-0. As Charles reported, 7-0 Merritt Island. Space Coast blowing Stanton out of the water 35-0. And O'Galley and Atlantic Del Rey Beach 6-6. That game with about 8 minutes to play in the first half. Smith turns, gives to Scott again. This time Stutter steps the line. He may have, nope, they're going to give him forward progress to about the 39. No, check that, to 39. Come on, Alan. To the 45, and that is going to be a Cocoa Tiger first down. 7:50 to play here. Tigers moving the ball. Scott checks out. Smith with a 5 wide receiver set. Zay Hawkins split wide near side. Tank White in the middle. Cayman Veras in the slot. On the far side is Jamal Smith and Jaden Mall. Ben Waldrop changes the play for his defense. Smith drops back. He's got time, steps up, and Champ Smith going to pick the first down up. That's going to be 15 more. At least it should be, and it is going to be. As that's going to – Smith had the first down. He slid, and the Tigers' offensive line does not like it. The guilty party's Elijah Cardwell. It's an undisciplined play by Cardwell. He knows it. And like the response there, though, by the Tigers. I know you're not supposed to get into any type of – but you got to protect your quarterback, man. You've got to protect your quarterback. And a great job by Corso, who pitches the timeout to Coco here. Coco takes the timeout. Ryan Schneider going to pull his guys over, talk to them, calm them down. And that's going to be 15 more. And the Tigers are now going to have the football all the way down at the Chrissy Knows Real Estate Red Zone. So, not a good play there. O'Galley and Atlantic Delray beats, as I said, 6-6. Merritt Island Christian all over Slam Academy. You know, we don't talk enough about Merritt Island Christian, that 8-man game. The Cougs are the number 2 ranked 8-man team in the state of Florida. They'll play for a state championship. They stay healthy, and that's the key in 8-man. You got to stay healthy because it's Ironman football. You play it both ways. And you're doing a lot of running, trust me. If the Cougs can stay healthy, they'll win another 8-man state championship. 14-3 is our score here with 7:16 to play in the first half as the Tigers look to up the ante here. It's going to be 1st and 10. The ball's actually going to be at the 25, just shy of the Chrissy Lindbeck red zone. Alan Slaughterzinski with you live from J. Donnelly Field. Pleasure to be with you here tonight. I want to say hello to Tom Bracken watching. Tom not here tonight. Won't get into specifics, but he just couldn't make it tonight. And we just want to say, Tom, get well. And there's a hold. That's coming back. And that was a hold. Good call on that one. So the Tigers will be looking at 1st and 20 now from their own 35. He not only held him, but he turned him around twice. I want to say hello to Tom Bracken. And if you don't know who Tom Bracken is, Tom Bracken has been taking pictures of the Cocoa Tigers for years. And some of the best pictures of Cocoa Tigers. I stole 2 of them this week alone. And Tom just takes outstanding pictures. And, you know, when you think, obviously, of Cocoa Tiger football, for those of us that know the program as well as we do, Tom Bracken is one of those guys where we associate with the Tigers. Smith play action, sets up, looking, fires underneath. It's there, and that's going to be 12 of the 10, or actually they got all 10 back plus 2 as that catch. I like these jerseys Coco's wearing because I can see the numbers easy. I think that was Maul on that catch. 2nd and 9. Smith with the play, 6:18 and running here. Near side is Veris and Zay Hawkins. Smith, going to get another timeout by Coco. That was taking way too much time. So the Tigers take their 2nd timeout. They've got 1 left here. Checking out the rest of the scoreboard here. Let's refresh it and see if anything has changed since. Got to be careful, though. That paywall, man, they get you. You do it 3 times, they got you. Chastity Banks does a good job over there in Florida Today. Saw my good buddy Craig Bailey earlier. He's here taking pictures tonight for Florida Today. So if you've got a relative or student athlete in this game, make sure you check out Florida Today's online recap for the pictures of this one. Craig does a terrific job. Still no score reported between New Smyrna Beach and Rockledge. And coming out of the timeout now, 6:06 to go in the half. The Tigers, 2 timeouts in the last 3 plays here. One to take, kind of cool off after Champ Smith got popped sliding. And here they were going to run out of time. Let's see what the Tigers come up with as the fans here at J. Donnelly Field are stomping their feet. Smith wants it, has it, turns, gives straight up the middle to Scott, and Yeah, he's going to be taken back. Nice job by that defense. And a man's name we haven't called tonight, Delvonte Hunter, fills the hole, makes the tackle. Forward progress will give him 3. It'll be 3rd and 5. I would think this would be 4-down territory with an 11-point lead. Smith trying to get the War Eagles to jump, but too disciplined for that. Smith still can't get him to jump. Now he better hurry. Takes it that time. Look at this run. Nice job. 1st down. I believe that was Scott again. Nope, check that. That's not Scott. That's Zay Chappell that time on the carry. And the Tigers move the sticks well inside the Chrissy Lynn. Actually, this is the Tails at the Barkery red zone. And it's now 1st and goal for the Tigers at the 10. Quick pitch. This time it's Scott. Scott turns, cuts, wants the pylon, fighting his way. Does he get in? Nope. They're going to mark him down at the 6-inch line. So we got an injured player down on the field. With an injured player down, we're going to step aside. We'll be right back here on Brevard Sports Network. Not sure who the injured Cocoa Tiger is, but he's sitting up, which is a good thing. Rockledge 7, New Smyrna Beach 7. 5:55 to play in the second quarter. Raheem Cutter with a 50-yard touchdown run in that one. And then Todd Cutler Jr., whoever that young man is, with a 9-yard run. I want to thank Technique Boxing, located there in Cocoa. Head-to-head series between these two teams since 2004. As the player is coming off, but he needs help. Has been, oh my goodness, thank you. I appreciate that. Look at this. The good old blow pops, I love them. But the Tigers definitely have owned this series since 2004. I'll tell you about it here in a minute, but there is a radio broadcast on YouTube of a game from 2007, I believe it is. Oh, ESPN Radio. Smith wants the touchdown. Will he get it? I don't know how he couldn't have gotten it. Yes, Champ Smith sneaks it in, and the Cocoa Tigers, with 4:34 to play in the first half, take a 20-3 lead. I think that was Smith. Yeah, it was. Yeah, Champ earned that touchdown. As Keelan Gonzalez comes on to kick the extra point to try to give the Tigers an 18-point lead here. Senior night for Astronaut. The snap, the hold, the kick is, they'll never get that ball back. Good. And with 4:34 to play in the third, or the second, it's 21-3 Cocoa. 21-3 Tigers. 44-yard touchdown pass from Champ Smith to Zay Hawkins. A 49-yard touchdown run by Javian Scott. And a quarterback sneak by Smith from the 6-inch line. And the Tigers have their third touchdown of the night. And the War Eagles must answer here, or because they're not stopping Coco. The Tigers definitely want to try and put another touchdown. Where Coco wants to be is in running clock territory. The Tigers came into this game 10 points, minus 10 in point differential. They have flipped that to go from minus 10 to now a plus 8 on the season. As Keelan Gonzalez lofts one high, short. It'll bounce, picked up across the 20, 25, and brought down at the 28-yard line. I'll tell you what, Kyrie Brooks just must love hitting because it's unusual to see your leading tackler out there playing special teams. Their ball carrier on that one was Kedron Davis, and Davis gets the ball out to about the 29, 28. Scott Corso says, first down, let's go. And the big offensive line for the War Eagles comes out. And Quan Hagens will stack them with 3 wide receivers to the near side. At the top of your screen is Nate Edwards all the way up. Man coverage by Coco. Quan, nice play call, nicely designed. That's just a good play call there, well executed. Draquan Jones in motion, stopped, turned about 2. I guess, how running backs run little wheel routes. It was similar to that for a wide receiver. Just a little turn and look out of the motion set, and Astronaut is able to pick up a first down. And you want to see Astronaut put points on the board here. If they don't win this game, they definitely want to make it a 4-quarter, 12-minute quarter game. Not a running clock. And nice run out across the 50 into Coco territory goes Draquan Jones again. And actually the ball will be right on the 50. Big number 55 on the right side for Astronaut. That's Isaiah Irvin, the 6'4", 280-pound senior. Man, that young man, he looks like he's got the size to go be an outstanding tight end. Give, and that's on Quan Hagens. Got to complete that. The intended wide receiver on that play was Hunter Buck. 2nd and 10. Yeah, look at him. That young man puts on, he's got tight end size. Look at him. I'd be throwing jump balls to him. Second down and 10. Hagens turns. Jones got room. Cuts back. First down. Astronaut. Good answered drive by the War Eagles here with 3:17. They're going to stop the clock to move the chains. Nice job by Astronaut. No quit. Motion. Hagens turns, gives again. Not much. Oh, still on his feet. That's a gain of 5. What a run by Jaden Brown that time. Brown kept his knees going. Referee says, I gave him 5. Well, no. They'll give him 4. So, 4 times 3 is 12. You'll take it. 2:20 to go here. You want to see the War Eagles, if you're an Astronaut fan, get these plays off a little quicker. Brown in the backfield with Higgins. Turns and gives it to him again. Straight ahead. Another gain of 4. And it'll be 3rd down and less than a yard. So you got to pick up 5. So 3rd and 1. And the War Eagles, under 2 minutes to go. We'll let you hear the band at halftime. Again, straight through the heart of that Tiger defense up front. They are running right between Redman Thompson and Tremaine Wells and picking up chunks of yards doing it. As the War Eagles have a 1st down, the clock will stop again to move the chains, and now we've got an injured player. So the clock will definitely stop for that. Cramp. As soon as you see the leg go up, you know it's a cramp. They aren't as bad this time of the year as they are obviously in August. But my goodness, I hate cramps. Hate them. See Matt Ryan get a cramp on NFL Today last week? Hysterical. Happens all the time in the broadcast booth, but, you know. I want to say hello to I don't know if he's watching, but if he is, to my comrade, Caleb Brown, who is healing. And we seem to have lost power to the scoreboard for whatever reason. As, yep, that's never a good thing. Just went off. 1:59 to play, though. We'll count backwards ourselves. What happened to the scoreboard? Oh, there we go. It's back. All right, here we go. .136 actually checked that. Here we go, Higgins. Yeah, and you just lose all momentum going east and west as Jermaine Waters gets a TFL, his 12th of the year, and now Astronaut is forced to take a timeout. And a great story tradition here at Astronaut. So many great players, so many great coaches. Of course, Matt Alstead, the athletic director who took over for Cheryl Schivel, one of my favorite all-time athletic directors, no doubt about it. Miss Schivel is amazing. Hated to see Miss Schivel retire. Of course, recently announced the Hall of Fame class. There's a Hall of Fame class coming up for Astronaut. We'll tell you who they are in a minute. As soon as I find it. As here we go. So it is 2nd and 14 now for Astronaut. Hagens looking, fires. Yep, there's gonna. I didn't see it, but I got late. But that's going to be pass interference on Coco. It's going to be 15 yards, so it should be a first down. Because they only have 14 to go. See what Mr. Corsi calls here. And it is against the Coco Tigers. So that will put the football 15 yards inside the tails at the Barkery red zone and give the War Eagles a good shot to make this an 11-point game. The last time they got this deep, they picked up 2 holding penalties, and it pushed them all the way back. They were able to get 12 yards of that back, and then a field goal by Lamothe. And then now you almost feel like 3 does them no good. 6 is what they have to have. 1:16 to play. Hagens looks. Going to take off with it. Hagens trying to get to the sidelines. Gets inside. He's down inside the 5. Nice run. And it'll be 2nd down here. Did he pick up the first? He did. So Hagens gets the first down. And now it's 1st and goal for Astronaut, who desperately needs a touchdown here to stay in this thing. Give inside. Tigers swallow it up. Draquan Jones, the ball carrier, 41 seconds. Brennan Waldrop comes in now, and the Astronaut's going to be forced to take a timeout to stop the clock with 36 seconds to go here. We're telling you about the Astronaut Hall of Fame, the 2026 class coming up. Zane Taylor going into it. Zane, a 1980 graduate. Steady presence on the football sidelines, more than 30 years. Jeff Kramer going in as well. Coach Ralph Street, class of 96. DeAndre Young, Lamont now, class of 2010. Ken Large, class of 92. Dwayne Glover, class of 84. Devin Sporl, class of 2008. And Greg Collingsworth, class of 1978. Celebration set for April 18th. 2nd and goal. Hagens back in. Shift. Waldrop to the right of Hagens. Hagens runs. And he is stopped. 27 seconds. Astronaut back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and goal. They lost yards. They better hurry. 15 seconds. Caught. Can he get in? Oh, my goodness gracious. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Didn't they call a timeout? I think they're probably going to put a second or two back on this clock. Oh, no, they're not. That is terrible. That is terrible. Yeah, I listen, that's a 15-yard flag you take all day. That's bad. Sorry, that's bad. 21-3. is our halftime score. He had to be out of bounds down there. First of all, they called him down. I've seen a ton of players marked down at literally 6 inches from the end zone. And we'll talk about this another day, but that's just not a good call. That's the end of the half. 21-3. Astronaut trails Coco. Halftime coming up.
drivers, instructors,
Oh, they got a band.
technicians are Todd Masters and Michelangelo Manuel. Drum major, Emerson Sakuma. Is your band ready? You may begin your halftime performance. Yeah! What's new here?
All right, we'll be back with the second half kickoff here on Brevard Sports Network.
The Honda Accord EV4488X. The next one is a Toyota Camry. It is black.
Go, go, go!
2 minutes of rockers to fire it up.
All right, welcome back to J. Donnelly Field, Story Taylor Stadium, home of the Astronaut War Eagles, as the War Eagles, with what I believe was a justifiable gripe at the end of the half there, we'll discuss my opinions on those things coming up on the post-game show tonight, but an opportunity there for Astronaut that they just did not cash in on, and I get it. The officiating may have cost them the opportunity to do that, but nonetheless, it's an opportunity that's squandered and a chance to put this to an 11-point game just before the half, and momentum. But I guess if you're Astronaut, you could take into that locker room with you at halftime. Like I said, you can drive the ball on these guys. You just better make sure you're executing on every play to do so. For the Cocoa Tigers, I think they got to feel good about what they had in the first half offensively and even defensively. I mean, teams are, for 2 years now, teams have been able to run the ball up the middle. I don't know it's an issue that they're going to fix in Game 8, but it's 21-3. You played well. You're on front. You're getting the ball here. Let's see how the second half starts, and that's not a good one. Uh-oh, look at this. And a return there by number 20 for the Tigers is O'Keefe's Battle. So O'Keefe's Battle with the return. The Tigers and Champ Smith will come back out onto the field. Smith with a good first half, no turnovers. I do believe it's the first half he's had this year in which he did not turn the football over, and that's a good thing. And the Gamers R Us scoreboard. Third quarter will be brought to you by Tails at the Barkery. Good run here to start the second half. Let me get that. I'll get that scoreboard fixed there to say third quarter coming up. My apologies. I had about 25 minutes to fix it at halftime, and for whatever reason, just didn't do it. Gain of 6 on the play. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Let's hear it, Smith turns. Oh, nope. Throws a little out route here. And the Tigers will have their first down of half number 2 as 11:15 to go in the third. 21-3. And we're getting an injury stoppage here. Sent off the field there was Zay Hawkins, who's got a 44-yard catch and run for a touchdown tonight. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the War Eagle. That is Cayman Veras. Oh, slips, cuts. Scott was slipping all over. The ball's out, but whistle blew, whistle blew, whistle blew. Shouldn't have, but it did. He wasn't down, but the whistle did blow. I think when you go back and look at the replay of that, I don't even think his knee was down. But he did blow the whistle, so that kills the play, and there's no debate to be had. 2nd and 11. Smith looking, fires. And that's a catchable ball. Tank White caught 3 of those types of passes last week, and that one he does not. I have to go back and look at that again to see how catchable that was. But the Tigers are quickly facing 3rd and 11 here. Tank White will go to the far side now in the slot. Cayman Varus in the slot near side. I'd like to see, listen, you want to see the hitch. Where's the hitch? He's looking at Varus the whole way, but goes deep. Caught, nice comeback there. That's a great play there by Champ Smith and Jaden Mall. That's a timing route that Smith cut that ball loose before Mall turned, and when he turned, the ball was right there. That's a great play by both of them, and the Tigers pick up a first down. That's one of the best throws of the night by Champ Smith. Certainly a great route. Inside by number 25. That's Nasir Warwick on the carry. Impressive. And Mall's just a sophomore as well. 2nd down. There's Cayman Varus on a jet sweep. Varus gets outside. There's the, oh my goodness. They're going to call a hold. Cayman Varus scores the touchdown, but it's coming back. They're going to call a hold on number 14, Jamal Smith, the wide receiver. He did. He held on the edge over there, and Cayman Varus' touchdown's coming back. He knows it. He's not even complaining. You got to get your arms inside. He had them out on the shoulder pads and everything else. Did you happen to catch? Oh, they're going to call personal foul with the block there. That's a 15-yard penalty. I didn't see the end of the play. I just saw a hold. So now it's 2nd and 25. 21-3 Tigers up here. Smith looks, little dump off here to Smith. And they make him get back some of the yards I believe he just cost them. 3rd down here, but Coco's coming from behind the sticks. Tigers have his thing for their receivers. No block, no rock. And did you happen to catch Javen Boggs blocking 30 yards downfield last week for the Florida State Seminoles? Smith, here comes a corner blitz. Nope, he backs up. Smith looking, plenty of time, throws wide open, caught. Touchdown, Coco Tigers. Tank White on a perfect crossing route. Smith on 3rd and 14, and the Tigers lead it 27-3. Great job by the offensive line. Champ Smith had all day to throw the football. And he finds Tank White for the 2nd consecutive week, and the Tigers score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. And pending the extra point from Keelan Gonzalez, lead it 27-3. Nice throw. 2 nice throws on the drive by Champ Smith there. The timing route on the sidelines, the maul, and that crossing route there. Kick is up, and it's good. And with 8:50 to go in the third quarter, the Cocoa Tigers, 28. Astronaut, uh-oh. Hold on, keep it here. Flags fly. We got pushing and shoving. Logan Halleck sends his team back to the sidelines. Listen, Astronaut's frustrated, and I get it. I totally get it. Adam Franco's not happy. And to me, Astronauts got the short end of the stick at the end of the half, and that frustration has carried over here into the third quarter. But that play at the end of the first half, I mean, that's where the frustration lies. As the Tigers get in the end zone here. Of course, he signifies a personal foul call against Coco. And that's going to go against the Tigers on the kickoff. So that'll go against Coco. But the damage is done, and Keelan Gonzalez doesn't care where he's kicking off from as long as he's kicking off after an extra point, which he is. And the Tigers up there on the Gamers R Us scoreboard lead it 28-3. I want to thank Astronaut Athletic Director Coach Matt. There it is. Where's my tails at the Barkery? Bottom banner. I know you all don't like the bottom banners, but we have to do them because without those great folks and given the recognition that they deserve, we couldn't do this. Two of the best right there on the screen now, and Gamers Are Us and Tails at the Barkery. Gonzalez, total leather, and this ball will be fielded. Nice kick at the 20. And he is popped. More pushing and shoving. And downfield, we got pushing and shoving. We got a helmet off. Flags flying. And the referees have just lost control of this thing. That without his helmet right now is Raymond McCoy. McCoy's got to be careful. See what the call is here. As Logan Halleck brings his team in and issues them some sort of a warning, but it's the referee's job, and it's just not happening here. And I just think. I just think that it's got to be. I don't know. I've watched a lot of football in my life, and this has been a tough year in some regards for the yellow flags flying. A lot of them. A lot of yellow flags this year. .8:41 to play in the third. And these guys get out there and they do, listen, they work hard. I get it. And Scott Corsi he really does a nice job at the top of the MCOA in terms of the football officiating. Nice clinic they put on at the beginning of the year at Vieira High School, rules clinic, and it's just been a tough year for a lot of yellow on the field. And look, in that particular scenario there, I mean, listen, McCoy, his helmet is off. I mean, he threw it. I think he threw it. Yeah, I mean, you just can't let it get to that point. 1st and 10. Hagens with an out here.
Nice completion on the right side. Gain of 5 on the play. To King Rainey.
Gain of 5. King Rainey reins it in. War Eagles, 8:03, 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Cocoa on top by 25. Brennan Waldrop down on the sidelines warming up. Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to start cutting it loose through the air here at some point. Yep, that was a wall he just ran into by the name of number 44, Tremaine Wells. Bounced him back 3 yards, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10.
And I think the thing is it started week 1 with Merritt Island and Cocoa. That game between Merritt Island and Cocoa at the end of that football game. You know, I'm not going to get into details about that, but there were mistakes made there. 7 minutes to go. Motion. Hagens, he's got time, but he can't stand there like that. He's either got to move or dirt it, and he'll end up. He won't get a gain, but it won't be a sack either to bring up 4th down and 10, 6:31 to go here in the third quarter. (28-3), and the War Eagles are going to punt. Is that what is that, a snowball? Was that like an icy? That looks good, man. Bad snap, and the kick is partially blocked. And it still rolls all the way down to the 20. Spins, turns, and O'Keefe's Battle gets it out across the 30 to the 33. 5:46 to go. 28-3 is the score in the third. Listen to all these cars that are illegally parked that are about to get towed. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. I mean, we haven't looked at the scoreboard in a while, have we? So let's go back to it, shall we? All right. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Champ Smith wants it, has it, pitches it. Zay Chappell with it. Chappell spins, turns, ball's out. Chappell coughs it up, and the War Eagles have it. And the break they have been looking for, they got. Chappell just turned, did not protect the football, and the turnovers continue to haunt the Tigers this year as the Astronaut War Eagles have it in Cocoa territory. Heritage lead Martin County 7-3. That game in the third quarter. Winner wins the district championship. New Smyrna Beach on top of Rockledge, 21-13. Winner wins the district championship. Raiders 8 points down, a 14-point third quarter for the Cudas. And there's a carry. Nice job there by Jaden Brown. Bayside 19, Cocoa Beach 14. Titusville running clock right now over Palm Bay. Vieira 17-7 over Melbourne at the moment. Nelson with a 5-yard run. Duke Butler with a 1-yard run. And the Hawks have also put up 14 in the third after trailing 7-3 at the half. Melbourne scored first on a Mikey Rogers 11-yard run. The winner of that one will host a first-round playoff game. 3rd down and 5 now for Astronaut. Most certainly 4-down territory as Brennan Waldrop is in at quarterback, in case I didn't mention that. I told you he was warming up. Waldrop with doubles. That means 2 wide receivers split equal to the left and to the right. Now we've got motion, jet, and the jet is not going to work because you cannot run east and west on the Cocoa Tigers. 4th down and 4. I don't think they've run that motion enough tonight to set Cocoa up for it. And you got to outrun one of the fastest teams in the county, and it's just not a good formula. 4th down and 4. 3:50 to go. Now, a first down is a must in the third. Delray Beach all over O'Galley, 41-18. Guess I was wrong about Delray Beach. Waldrop just turns and lets it go. And he gets it out of bounds. So no flag. There is no pocket or anything like that. There is intentional grounding, but there is no pocket like there is in college. And what's Merritt Island? What's the Merritt Island score? Space Coast over Stanton, 49-0. Hawthorne over MCC, 14-7. Carrollwood Day 10, Merritt Island 7 at the half. So the Mustangs playing a good defensive game. Which is what you want to see. Cayman Veris on that jet sweep, and it won't work against Astronaut for a second time. He scored a touchdown on that play that was called back. That time Veris brought down quickly on the play, I believe by King Rainey. Second and 9. 10. Smith, play action, throws at the sticks. Nice job. Man, I really like Jaden Mall. Young man, a terrific route there by Mall. A stick route where he makes sure he's a yard past it, turns, the ball is there. He's a good-looking wide receiver for the Cocoa Tigers who does not need to come off the field. Smith in trouble. He'll go down. That's a sack as Chris Wolf picks it up. And that's a loss. Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. got some length to him, size, tall. I like him. 6'3", 185, sophomore. Talking about Jaden Mall, and a terrific route runner from what I've seen. Smith in trouble again. This is where Smith breaks free, and he's going to slide. He's got the first down. Champ Smith picks up all 12 and one more, and the Tigers into plus territory now. 1st and 10 at the Astronaut 41. Little swing pass here. He's going to pick up yards, too. Nice job. Nicely done by Nasir Warwick. And Warwick gets the ball for another Cocoa first down. He'll pick up 13. And we got a flag down. That's right there on the sidelines. That's got to be, well, let's see. Logan Halleck is not happy. What are they going to call? I don't think this is against Cocoa. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Astronaut. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. I suspect that came from the sidelines and the coaches. And now they are absolutely letting the side judge have it. And, yeah. I did a game. This is like the 4th game I've done with this crew this year, broadcast. I had a game earlier this season when they were at MCC. Pretty sure it was this crew. And I'm telling you, I don't think I've ever seen, there must have been, and I'm not exaggerating. In fact, one of the officials from the crew said in an Instagram the next day that he could not believe his arm hadn't fallen off from the amount of flags he had thrown. There's a grab on the back of the helmet. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5, under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. This one well in hand. A victory for the Cocoa Tigers means several things. It is going to be another district championship trophy for the Case. They can put over there on Tiger Trail. It is going to be a ticket punched to the playoffs for a 23rd consecutive year. Smith throws, caught, touchdown. Jaden Mall, and Mall deserved that one. Smith with a touchdown, and we got 2 flags flying on the other side of the field. Now let's see what the call is. I can almost tell you what it is. I think it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against Cocoa after the touchdown. Going to be enforced on the kickoff. Yeah. So Cocoa leads this thing 34-3. The touchdown is good. Jaden Mall, young man, deserved it. Has played well here tonight. Nice little crossing route there. And Champ Smith hit him in stride. 34-3, 22 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Keelan Gonzalez looking to go 5 for 5 tonight on extra points. Perfect execution, and with 22 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, the Cocoa Tigers have pushed their lead out to 35-3. Back in a moment here on Brevard Sports Network. Want to thank Tails at the Barkery, located in Cocoa Village. Listen, the holidays are coming. If you've got a cat or a dog, and you know, there are so much things that are available for animals these days. And I tell you, Miss Pam down at Tails at the Barkery, not Bakery, Barkery, Tails at the Barkery, she does such a terrific job down there. Pay her a visit, or check out what they have to offer online as well. TailsAtTheBarkery.com. The number, I know it by heart by now, 321-305-4584, located on 14 Leander Street in Cocoa, historic Cocoa Village. Miss Pam is absolutely awesome. She is a great supporter of Brevard County youth and prep sports, and we thank her so much for her sponsorship. And for you Tiger fans out there, as you know, each year we partner with Jim Williams and Miss Pam and Seth from Gamers R Us to be able to bring you, they pay Brevard Sports Network, and we're able to bring you 8-9 games. This is, if they don't play the Apopka game, this is our final regular season broadcast. We do not have the Barbecue Bowl next week. So, Coach Claiborne lets one stream at a time there, and I believe it was spoken for earlier this season. So we will be elsewhere next week. We will have MCC and Heritage. Should be a good football game. We will also have Vieira and Merritt Island, and that should be a good football game. And we'll look around and see what else we've got. It's the first week of the SSAA playoffs as well. And remember, folks, a lot of this action next week is on Thursday because for some reason they didn't want to play on Halloween this year. I don't get that. I mean, it's Halloween. I mean, they play football on Christmas, right? Thanksgiving. $35-13, and that'll take us to the end. 35-3, sorry, 35-3. That'll take us to the end of the third quarter. I'll get it together. Cocoa 35, Astronaut 3.
Hi, I'm Christy Lindback with Company, your East Coast real estate expert. When it comes to selling your home, experience and strategy matter. My team and I make sure every detail is handled, so you get top dollar and a stress-free experience. We bring in professional stagers, high-end photographers, and cinematic videographers to showcase your home at its best. Because every showing starts online, and we make sure your home stands out. With consistent communication, strong negotiation skills, and local market expertise, I guide you every step of the way. Because here in Brevard, when it comes to real estate, Chrissy knows. Ready to buy or sell in Brevard? Visit Chrissy Knows, and let's get started.
Start of the fourth quarter does not start well as Elias Wilson, the 6'2 sophomore, comes up and snatches up the running back for the Astronaut War Eagles for a loss of 1. And it is 3rd and 11. And we want to thank Chrissy Lindback. Chrissy knows, as she'll be half of our fourth quarter sponsor, Technique Boxing, our other half, as that'll bring up third down. Nothing but fourth downs now coming. I don't know if Astronaut's going to punt or go for it. A lot of different philosophies out there when you're down like this in a football game. Waldrop looking, scrambles, looking for somebody, throws, hit as he does, and overthrows it. Kyrie Brooks, 12 on 12 that time, is Waldrop was hammered when he threw the ball. He gets up. That'll bring up 4th down, and Astronaut's going to go for this, it looks like. If they don't make it, it will put Cocoa just 44 yards away from a running clock. Draquan Jones checks in. Waldrop. Oh, blitz, throws. Should have been caught. That is a beautiful pass from Brennan Waldrop that should have been caught by King Rainey. And that should be an Astronaut first down. It's not. It is a turnover on downs as people start heading for the exits here at J. Donnelly Field. And I'll tell you what, the Astronaut War Eagles, they're going to drop the 5-4. They're going to play Titusville next week. This is a program under Logan Halleck that's coming. I promise you this program is coming. You're going to see in a couple, 2 years, 3 years, this is a program that'll be competing big time. The intensity level, what these coaches have put into this program, yeah. Jay Scott, I mean, you look at the way that these kids are out here battling down 32 points here in the 4th quarter, playing their hearts out. They can keep some kids home here in the Titusville area and split them between them and Titusville down the street. They'll be just fine. Listen, Randy Halleck did it. Logan Halleck will do it too. Waldrop shows blitz, did not blitz. This is a first down and much, much more for the Cocoa Tigers as Nasir Warwick picks up the first down.
On the left side for Cocoa, it'll be a 1st and 10.
First and 10, 9:50 to go. The Tigers score here. The clock will run. As the ball is at the 25, it looks like. Quarterback now is Trenton Washington, the freshman, a kid I can't wait to watch for Cocoa. So it's been Trenton Washington in on this drive. Watched Trenton play youth football last year for Cocoa. I believe it was last year. Either last year or the year before. And this kid is a heck of a player. The Tigers don't need to go elsewhere for a quarterback in the future with Trenton Washington waiting. I can tell you that right now. Although he better learn how to catch the ball out of the snap. That's a face mask. That's going to be 15 more. Tigers are going to pick up a first down. They are inside the Chrissy Lindback red zone, but that's a face mask. Here comes Scott Coursey with the call, and there it is, face mask on Astronaut. That'll be 15 extra yards, and the Tigers are marching close to the running clock here. 9:19 Coco did hit a running clock against Heritage earlier this year in a 35-0 win. Jet sweep to Cayman Varus. Varus still on his feet, and he'll be brought down. No gain. Second and goal. Actually, they can pick up a first down. It's 2nd and 10. I thank Matt Alstead, the athletic director here at Astronaut High School, for allowing Brevard Sports Network to come and broadcast Washington. That was just Brennan Waldrip just made an athletic play there. He was tied up by a blocker and managed to throw himself in front of the intended wide receiver, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 9. So, again, the Tigers can pick up a first down, but .8:31 to go. Trenton Washington trying to get this thing in. Turns, gives straight up the gut, but it won't be enough for a first down. And that'll bring up 4th and 5. And the Tigers are going to kick a field goal. So Coco kicks the field goal here, and the clock will run because it'll be 35 points. It'll be right to left, ball on the right hash mark, marked at the 13, so this will be a 23-yard attempt for Keelan Gonzalez. Good snap. Kick is up. Good. And the clock will run as the Tigers take a 38-3 lead. Back in a moment. All right, the clock is running as Coco gets set to kick off here. It won't be Keelan Gonzalez kicking off, though. The Tigers came into this game in minus 10 in point differential, and they'll leave here plus 25 now on the season. As Lucas Ramirez, the senior punter, will kick off for Coco. And the referee says stop the clock. So they'll stop it for a water break. We'll be back here as we switch sponsors on BSN. Welcome back to J. Donnelly Field here at Story Taylor Stadium. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. And I enjoyed having all of you, my close Brevard County friends and beyond. Charles Bell, of course, does not live in Brevard County, but as we get set to wrap up here, 6:26, the clock is running again. Likely the final possession, home possession of the. Let's talk about the War Eagles a little bit. we really felt like that in order for the Warriors to make the playoffs, they had to win one of these two final games, either against, and underdogs in both, but against Cocoa or Titusville. And they're a 7 seed, and the reason why they're in shallow waters in terms of the playoffs is because there is no representative from District 8, I believe it is, in their region. So District 7. So whoever wins District 7 is going to slide into 8. And if that's where Astronaut is sitting, well, then the same scenario that happened last year happens again. They get bumped as an 8 seed for a district champ. So Astronauts got to win this game next week against Titusville to have a real shot to reach the playoffs. And I'd love to see Logan Halleck's team reach the play. Titusville's going to the playoffs regardless, in my opinion. I'd love to see Logan Halleck's team get into playoffs. The confidence that would do for this program. 5 minutes to go.
36 on the play. Second and 4.
But 2 35-point district losses. They lost 35-0 to the Villages. They'll lose 38-3 here tonight unless they put up points here. But it has been look, they may end up 5. They could be 6-4, 5-5. They'll be no worse than 5-5, and that's the second consecutive year that they're 500 or better. So, as a program, you'll take that. Their schedule a little tougher this year than it was last year. And you see a lot of these running backs, these young running backs for them will be back. For Cocoa, it's a matter of can they get to 2. I don't know. Maybe they can even get to 1, a 1 seed in the region and host throughout the all the way to the Final Four. Well, they wouldn't. They would travel in the Final Four. Yeah, so they would host the regional final, but I think that's the goal for Cocoa. You don't want to have to go on the road to play Bradford or the Villages again. And Cocoa needs to be ahead of the Villages anyway because they smacked them around last week. They beat them. So Cocoa shouldn't be trailing the Villages in the rankings. Cocoa's played a harder schedule, and they beat them by 21 points. Turns, gives. Nice tackle there by Cannon McCarthy. Is that Cannon McCarthy out there playing some DB? Look at Cannon getting on the field. 3 minutes. 3rd down and 1. Brennan Waldrop out there guiding the offense. Quan Hagens. Listen, big plays in this one tonight. Astronaut started strong. They played well. Cocoa put some things together tonight, passing the football that you wanted to see from them. And they did a nice job with it. Champ Smith with a very good game tonight. Very efficient tonight for Champ. This will be his first game of the season because he's not playing right now. He came out in which he did not throw an interception, and that's a great sign coming down the stretch. Next week for the Tigers, it's the Barbecue Bowl at Rockledge, a series that the Tigers have absolutely dominated, at least recently. The 57th edition of it next week. $150 to go. 2nd down and 9. Once again, coming up about an hour and 10 minutes after this one's over, it'll be the Natwick Insurance post-game show as we'll recap the night in high school football for you here on here across the county and out of county. 2nd and 10. Tigers will even their record at 4-4, and Astronaut will fall to 5-4.
Loss of a couple on the play. 3rd and 12.
3rd down and 12. I'm going to give my player of the game tonight to quarterback Champ Smith. He had some nice runs for the Tigers tonight, some good throws. Didn't turn the ball over, protected the ball, played well. Quarterback Champ Smith will be our Gamers R Us player of the night. $20 seconds. And that'll do it. That'll be the final play of the game as the Cocoa Tigers will defeat the Astronaut War Eagles 38-3. Once again, I want to thank Matt Alstead as the two teams line up at midfield to shake hands. For all of you out there, I want to thank my sponsors, Gamers R Us, Chrissy Lindback. I want to thank Technique Boxing as well as Tails at the Barkery. So for all of you out there, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski. This has been a presentation of Brevard Sports Network. Once again, your final score,